And I heard, as it were, the noise of thunder. One of the four beasts saying, "Come and see." And I saw, and behold, a white horse. There's a man going round taking names, and he decides who to free and who to blame. The hairs on your arm will stand up when the man comes around. And I heard a voice in the midst of the four beasts, and I looked, and behold, a pale horse, and his name that sat on him was Death, and hell followed with him.
I feel like when you have a structure, you have a game plan, you look forward to it. You know, the closer I get to a show, I mean, I'll be honest, when I'm like 3 weeks out, I'm like, oh, I'm 270, well, after yesterday's high day, I'm 272 right now, and I'm very in striking, not I would say striking distance, but we're in a very, very good spot at this point. I like to think I adapt to things very easily too, because like me and Guy's sister Nina were talking about that yesterday. He's like, you're the only bodybuilder I know that is so schedule oriented, but you could easily leave your place and go somewhere else and start brand new, just like that. Like even coming here from and staying in Dom's Airbnb, like there's not much there, right? Just this, that, you got what you need. But I adapted, right, and made it, you know. As long as I have what I personally need, I can make anything work and just form a schedule that way.
Why have you moved so frequently?
It's hard, I guess, to truly explain. I think it's more so me than anything else. And I think that has to do with Matt always said you're running away, but no, we don't know where you're running from. And I think the reality of it is I don't know exactly what I was running from neither, but I think in the bigger picture I was just running from myself. Because I have trusting issues, so I don't like to trust people, and I think that's a problem. And the moment I feel people are against me, so to speak, you'll never hear from me again. And I think that's a bad way to live. So that's just something in me I'm trying to work on as well.
I mean, typically behavior like that is usually like a trauma response. Is there something that triggered that initially?
When I was younger, I was molested as a child by my art teacher when I was 12 years old in the 7th grade. And ever since then, when you're 12, right, you gotta look into perspective. You don't know what just happened to you because you're 12. So like, I think at 12 you kind of know, like that probably wasn't right, but you don't know the degree of how not right it really is. So as you get older, you become a little more mature, you become wiser, and you're like, yo, that happened to me. And it became very embarrassing. I'd say from 9th grade to 11th grade, I was very, just to myself, a very angry individual kid. And my mother and father had no idea why I was the way I was. I was never like that. Like when I was young, like I'd say from 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, I was a very happy, outgoing, and then out of nowhere, I just shut down. And they had no idea why I became that way. So even how that situation even came about, there was a kid who went home to his mother to explain that the teacher was talking very inappropriately, and it got all over the news. So my mother would always ask me and be like, yo, did he ever say anything to you or anything of that nature? And I would lie, like, nah, I don't know. But the teacher was very much so in with the kids. He was very popular with the kids. I mean, for fuck's sake, we had friends that we grew up with, our parents would throw parties every Saturday night, and he would be there, party with everyone. And I think I hated it because while all that happened to me, he's there socializing with my parents, and they have no idea what happened. So finally, I was at the gym one night. Remember, I sent her a text and I said, I just said, Mom, don't tell no one. She said, don't tell no one what? I said, look, we'll talk later. I'm at the gym. I'm not gonna lie to you anymore, but I'll text you afterwards. So at the time I wasn't driving, so I texted her when I was done. My mother was already outside waiting. I got in the car and it was so hard to look at her in the face. Cause she didn't know what I was gonna say. She thought that he talked inappropriately, like what did he say? Let's figure this out. So I just kind of looked down and I was like, he molested me. And the car was silent as fuck. So for a quick 30 seconds, I just stayed looking down and I just kind of picked my head up slow and looked at her, and you would have thought like there was a ghost that she just saw. So I was like, fuck. And then it's actually that face. That face will haunt me forever because, you know, I feel like beside losing a child, having something bad happen to your child is the worst thing that could really, you know, happen. So, and then my senior year, I kind of became more of my old self again. But even now, like, I do feel like I've progressed in many ways from it, but it sticks with you. It's part of you. It's who you are. You know, I don't let it consume me or control me anymore, but you don't forget. You know, and it's just a big reminder of who's who in this world and who's not. I don't like to talk about my shit too much, but I also feel with where I'm at in life and with some of the shit I had to go through with that physically and mentally, if I can overcome a lot of things, so can people, you know? I don't think anybody should be judged just on their past if they're really, really making an effort to work hard to change themselves.
Forgot how good barbell rows feel. I've done chest supported for the past 2.5 years. Forgot the barbell row. I'll keep these in. These feel good. And all that. That's just what I love. That's why I'm a bodybuilder. You know, I think people get into the sport for a lot of the wrong reasons. They want that IG fame, they want that YouTube fame, and they end up, you know, probably not getting the results they want. So now they go in this depression mode and they hate life and all that. You gotta love this before you can love that. You know, I was training since I was 13, loved it. I didn't start competing until I was 17. You know, so if you start competing before you actually start training and enjoying lifting, you know, what are you really doing for it? It's nice to just feel the way I used to feel. I like to think training for me, which I think is for a lot of people too, is a scapegoat from their own pain to put them through that another type of pain to release that mental pain. And, you know, I know for me it is, I don't want to say it saved my life. I just think it's typical. But it helped me tremendously throughout my life, and I'm sure it has helped others. You know, just because you think you've been riding this dark tunnel for so long, just keep going, because it may take longer for others, but there's always light somewhere. And no matter what, as long as you keep fighting a good fight, you'll find it.